to North of 60. My name is Heidi Schweighofer. Today, my guest does not need an introduction. We all know Jane Howington, our city manager, but she's here today in a little bit of a different role because she's also a member of the committee of the Hudson Senior Advisory Committee and is our city advisor for that committee. Let me tell you a little history. The Hudson Senior Advisory Committee was started in 2018 by our then mayor, Dave Basil. And over the 2018, he selected members for the committee. And then we began working actively in 2019 with publishing a senior directory and also establishing activities that we could do for seniors. Unfortunately, in March of 2020, as we all know, everything stopped and COVID took over our lives. And so with the exception of some fun drive-by events, we are now back in business. And we started in July of this summer with a fun painting event, and we've been doing things ever since. So I want to turn it to Jane here a little bit to talk about our new name and some other things about the committee.
Thank you, and it's nice to be here.
It is nice to have you, Jane. Thank you.
You talked about the Senior Advisory Committee, and I think just going back in history a little bit, since this was formed, the Senior Advisory Committee was a mayor committee to try and help develop some of the senior activities. The committees even expanded beyond that now into their new name and their new organization called the Hudson Senior Network. And the Hudson Senior Network is actually more of an independent affiliation that's under the umbrella of the Hudson Community Foundation. So that is often where some startup community organizations start and get their legs under them and get solid. So that's kind of how that name came about, the Hudson Senior Network. The Community Foundation has a fund dedicated for this network, and people can donate, people can provide services or can call and find out about it through the Hudson Community Foundation or through the city's website, where we also advertise those.
Good.
So that's the Hudson Senior Network. I guess I should say, though, it's not the only senior network. There are other organizations, both formal and informal, that provide senior services or information to seniors.
Lots of them.
There's lots of them, and I think that it was a surprise to me.
Me too.
When I started putting all of them down on paper and all of the volunteers and all of the things that are out there trying to help senior citizens in our community, it's very exciting to see so many people wanting to be involved in that.
I'm proud of what everybody is accomplishing, because I think for me at least, before 2018, I was very discouraged by what I didn't see happening in Hudson. I didn't see any kind of real activities, or if there were, I didn't know about them, because there were some with this church and some with this lunch group and some with another church. And I am really delighted that we have evolved as we have with being able to do the things we're doing on a routine basis for seniors, but also now starting to understand who else is out there.
Yes.
And how can we all work together at some point? I know that's an ambition of yours.
Yes, I feel that that's really something that the city's role is good at, is taking kind of disparate groups and pulling them together to have conversations together so that we can identify where there are gaps or where there's duplications, and just create some efficiency that way and be able to expand our resources.
So seniors, I would love to have anyone, but especially our seniors, be able to go to one place and say, well, these are the things I want to do this month, or this is what I want to attend this year. I'd love to see that happen at some point, and I bet with you on it, it will. It will. I have full faith in you, Jane.
Well, between Susan Chapman and
Yes.
our group, I think that we'll get there with a calendar. You know, right now we have the Hudson Senior Network events on our city calendar that's on the website, but it would be nice to have a calendar that's independent and just have everything on there.
Susan, I want to jump to registration because I know that has been a little bit of a hurdle. Susan has been instrumental in setting up an online registration system with the city, and it's actually very easy to access, but I know that there were some bumps in the road as people learned where to find it and how to go about registering. You're hearing that that's better now.
I think it's gotten a lot better. You know, Susan will come down to activities in the community room, and if there are people there that need help figuring out how to access it, she'll go through kind of a little bit of a tutorial for them. But what we're finding is that, and I think a lot of this is attributed to the COVID situation, that people found that they had to understand how to use computers because they were so isolated in their homes, and that was a way that they could get out. So we found that most of our seniors are not, you know, cowed by the computer or the internet, and that it is very user friendly, and that once you sign up, Susan's been able to organize it so that it automatically sends people
a reminder.
Reminders.
I love
Yes.
that. I
Yes.
get those myself
Good.
for the wellness classes. I just love that reminder because I think we do forget. But all right, so registration is easy, folks. I'm not going to go into all the steps. You go to the City of Hudson website, hudson.oh.us. You find community, and then you click on that, and then you look for senior resources. And it is an extremely easy registration form that you pick what you're going to attend, you pick the classes you want, the dates you want, and then you hit that submit button, and you are registered, and you can do it in advance. So Susan already has our last event, which is December 8th, on that website, and you can register for it.
And she tries to have a whole season of things up there, so you know you can pick and choose for the whole fall.
Whole fall, which a lot of people have. I've seen we already have 35 people signed up for the holiday party, which makes me happy in December. I'm looking forward to it.
It's so amazing how many people, so many of our classes and events get sold out.
I know. I know.
We're going to have to do something about that.
I know. Well, I want to talk about the classes first, because as Jane said, 2 of them are already sold out for the rest of the year. Please know that we're going to talk with the instructor of the classes and see if she would be willing to add another one for 2022. So the 2 sold out classes are a balance class and a stability ball class. They are both a little bit more challenging than it sounds. And I think that, and they're excellent, best classes ever. However, you do have to sign up and register early for those. So I talked to Susan and the instructor, and sometime late October, we're going to start working on 2022 stability ball and balance classes. And then we have the combination Tai Chi chair yoga class. That's on Fridays. That's still open. It is the most calming way to begin your weekend, by listening to the most calm voice I've ever heard. And we go through very relaxing stretches, and she's very intent on doing some mindfulness during the class. And I absolutely love the class.
Well, and I have to say that some of the administrative staff at City Hall has heard that calming voice, and now they want to attend the classes.
Well, she's great. Her name is Jody, and boy, that is another class that we will have for 2022, although you can still register for that for the next couple of months. There's still some openings. All right, Jane, let's talk a little bit about what's coming up.
Yeah, I think people need to understand that we have classes, but we also have events.
Yeah, good.
And the events are also often get sold out.
Yep.
And we have tremendous volunteers that help coordinate and put on these events.
Heck yes.
Including partners like some of our assisted living and independent living organizations that sponsor those events. So one that's going to be fun in October is the history of tea.
I'm looking forward to that, and she's bringing a variety of teas for us to taste. And that is a free lunch. So on the second Wednesday of every month from here to eternity, there is a lunch, a full lunch, and a speaker. And doors open right around 11. The speaker is at 12. And it's so enjoyable. We've learned so much through some of these lectures. All right.
And then so that's October 13th. October 27th, we have Liz Murphy coming in to talk about what's going on in Hudson, in and around Hudson. That one will be coffee and cookies.
Yeah. So the fourth Wednesday of the month, we will offer a speaker at noon, and then we just offer a snack, so there'll be just coffee and cookies, not a full lunch.
The one that'll be really fun, not that they're all fun, but the one that'll be really informative is November 10th.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a veterans event, and it's going to feature Tom Vince. So anytime Tom Vince goes to talk,
I agree.
Lots and lots of people want to come and listen.
I agree. He is a phenomenal historian. I have always enjoyed listening to him. So that one again is November 10th, and it is a lunch. And then the big kahuna at the end.
The holiday party.
Is the holiday party.
You know, you were instrumental in this last year when COVID was going on and we had to drive through, which was really phenomenal. You had bags of goodies for people and snacks and a wreath. I believe you had a wreath for everybody. And so people would just drive through the Barlow Community parking lot and they'd be handed these things, and they loved it.
Yes, they did. The response was amazing.
Yeah.
So
now we have to figure out how to get it back in person.
I know, how to top that. Well, our chairperson of the committee has said that he's going to come in a Santa Claus suit. So
dear.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but we're looking at trying to get some live music and just a lovely lunch and really enjoying kind of the start of the holiday season. So I hope you can all attend. All right.
Before we go too far, I would like to mention that because we hold all of these events in the community rooms at City Hall down on Terex Road, one of the big benefits is we have a very large community space. So for anybody that wants to be socially distanced, there's plenty of room to spread out.
That's exactly true.
And it's a very nice facility. We have a golf cart.
Yes.
Okay.
I completely forgot. So we've had some awful weather, and the walk from the parking lot in is one that you can get awfully wet if you don't have an umbrella. And we now, thanks to Jane, have a golf cart that we will drive back and forth up and down that sidewalk, pick you up in the parking lot, and bring you right to the door. And vice versa, when it's time to go home, we'll pick you up right in the community room and take you to your car. So you don't have to get wet, or you don't have to worry about that walk being too long if you are a little bit have some difficulty walking.
And I do have to say that we have some competition on the committee over who gets to drive the golf cart.
I really want to, but the guys have taken over. So Jerry came into the event last week and said, "I'll do the golf cart." And so I thought, okay, it's all right. Shoot.
Gonna have to take turns.
I know.
So that's the holiday party, and that'll finish off, that's December 8th, and that'll finish off the year of events for our Hudson Senior Network. And then we move into 2022. We are still developing the programs, but we do have a fashion show, and that's been well received in the past. It's always been really exciting to have that fashion show. So that'll probably be in March.
That's going to be in March, and Chico's right in downtown Hudson is the sponsoring store, and we're also going to use models that are seniors. So the folks who will be wearing the clothes and showing you the clothes will be all our age, which will be nice to see, not a 21-year-old size 2.
Yeah, skinny one. We've got brain health coming up.
Yep.
And that'll be a really interesting program. I'm going to send my husband to that one.
Does he know already?
No, he doesn't. That's going to be his birthday present. Can you go to this brain
Here,
health?
honey, go to the brain health thing. That is an interesting one. Bob Pontius does that from Danbury, and he has this series of mental exercises that he's going to run us through, and some of them were, a little surprising. I mean, a little harder than I thought, doing math in your head or feeling coins in your pocket and then trying to add up the denominations of the coin. And it was just kind of interesting.
Interesting.
So,
yeah, that sounds
Your
very
husband will
challenging.
like it.
Very good. And then we have VA benefits and Medicare information, and that's always very helpful for especially people that are just turning the clock on 65 and old.
It's not the most exciting topic, but the gentleman who will be doing it is very knowledgeable about VA benefits, and that is something that he has said in many speeches that he's done is missing in lots of men have chosen not to take them, and the advantages of signing up even at age 67, 70 years old is just tremendous. And so he'll talk about that. So those are just some of our exciting things happening.
And I think it's a good idea to say to anyone out there listening, you don't have to be a senior, but if you have some idea for programming, let us know, because there are those of us that are on the committee that are developing programming, but there may be things that people really are interested in that we hadn't thought about.
Good idea. And they can, now there's an email, excuse me, a senior email address that you could use to, if you do have an idea for a program or you have any questions or concerns about what we're talking about today. And it is all lowercase, Hudson, OH, seniors, @gmail.com. And Susan from our committee and I both look at that email on a daily basis. So it's a good way to communicate any ideas that you have about what we could present to people in the next year.
One thing I didn't mention that I would like to just mention when I talked about the Hudson Community Foundation and the ability to go to their website and make donations if you'd like. The Hudson Senior Network is also putting together a list of items that we'd like, anywhere from coffee carafes, which you just donated, thank you very much, to vans. I mean, we've got little things and big things, and as we're starting out and really starting to expand this, we have a supply area in the City Hall, in the community rooms, that we've got games and puzzles and things, but we also can use other items and store them there for our future programs.
Yep, good. I'm glad you mentioned that. All right, I can't think of anything else. Can you, Jane?
No, again, I would like to just extend gratitude to some of our assisted living organizations and independent living organizations. They're the ones pretty much that sponsor the lunches, that
Yep.
give us the ability to have free lunches, and they've been great partners to work with.
Yeah, they have. It's amazing to me to contact almost anyone and ask if they want to sponsor, and they all do. There's not a hesitation to do it. And we've had such varied things from each one of them. It's been really fun to see who brings what, and
Yes, yes.
I enjoy that. So
Well, good. Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Love talking about this stuff.
thank you, Jane, so much. I appreciate you being here. And thank you for watching North of 60. If you have any concerns or questions about anything we've discussed, you can contact that Hudson OH Seniors at gmail.com email address, and I promise you someone will get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here.